Okay, I'm here with Billy Blaze.
Yeah.
So you are an illustrator. Actually,
Yeah.
you're kind of like a multimedia artist, right? Because you've done different music things as well as graphics.
You know, just a guy who's, into comics and into rap, in the Bay Area, rap and hip hop, and the fusion of the two is like, a dream, you know, for a lot of people.
Now, you're also a collector. I'm a hip-hop fan, first and foremost. I'm not as much of a comic book fan.
Sure.
But I have collected a few over the years. Mm-hmm. And as I mentioned to you earlier, there was sort of Crustified Dibs with Ore the Rugged Man. They had a comic book.
Yep.
Extra Prolific from Hieroglyphics back in the early 90s had a comic book.
90s, yeah.
And there was cool. And there was some other one that I have in my collection. And then, of course, more recently, there's Senior Gigio's two ones. The one that came out today and the one came out 4 years ago. But you have a really good collection. So So let's see what you have in your collection.
This is some of the more, some stuff that is recent, but some stuff that's old as well. In regards to like, this is an MF Grimm from East Coast,
right?
Preview comic book showing something that was going to come out later on.
So what year was this from?
I think that's more maybe early 2000s on that one.
Okay. And I know that some of the ones that I had, they were promo only. So are these ones promo or for sale?
These ones, so promo on this, in regards, they probably just gave those for free if you happen to be wherever they gave them out for free. This is more of a retail copy of a Nirvana.
And not hip-hop, but rock.
Rock, but still music related.
But now this caught my attention.
Yeah.
So
recent release. So the thing is like, nowadays rappers are kind of realizing that the rap and hip hop and comics go hand in hand.
They do.
In regards to imagery and storytelling and that kind of thing. Yuckmouth is one of the ones from the Bay Area that got into it early and came out with his own issue of, his own comic.
I know this is your prize collection, but can you take it out and flip it for people to check out?
Take a look at it, yeah.
And who did the illustration on this?
That one, I don't know, actually. So definitely some newer artists, if you will. When I was into comics, I was collecting more in the late 80s or maybe even more so the 90s. Looks like Jarrell Threat, illustrated by.
So let's see a couple of the pages
B. Van Randall,
in there.
written by. So yeah, it's definitely some...
Oh, this is some dark shit.
I want to say it had to do with maybe some monsters, like some vampires or... Very cool stuff, though. I mean, just the fact that, the guys that we grew up listening to on that hard edge Bay shit that,
This is Yuckmouth from the 90s.
that they branched out into, other ventures and other avenues, other ways of, other creative avenues anyway.
Right. Okay, so moving along, this is a Booyah Tribe, which obviously this goes back a few years, early 90s, I'm guessing.
Yeah, definitely early. When they're at their maybe more height of popularity, if you will. And I want to say the artist Larry Stroman is a local guy. I remember getting
local as in Bay Area.
Local as even in out of Oakland.
Okay.
I remember getting this autograph by him at. WonderCon in Oakland when it was in downtown before they moved it to LA. And when I showed it to him, he was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you have this. This is so like, small print, short run." Trying to look for a year, but I want to say again, like maybe 94.
And that's like an old school comic book. That's not a glossy. That's kind of paper, right?
This paper is more like newsprint. I
like that.
Look at, actually, there you go right there. Google when that album was released. Yeah. So this comic came out a year or two before that.
Okay.
So
nice.
Very cool stuff. Again, historical pieces to the genre, to the culture. This one, more of a recent release. Spice One, Sadat X.
Oh.
And Spice One's artist Q Bossolini.
Oh, we gotta peep that one.
Very cool.
And it looks like it's a pretty thick little look there.
And talking about the old school newsprint, right? This is again, 90s era comic book style. This is more like, current style. This is more like a, trade paperback or a book.
Yeah.
Glossy pages and stuff.
Coffee table.
Shout out to Wayne, man, I'm not even going to pronounce that last name on the pencils, but Jabbar Brown is the guy.
But an unusual pairing, Sadat X and Spice One.
Which, again, this is why I love the backstories about, rap and hip-hop in general, specifically Bay Area, of all the background connections. How many people knew that Spice One and Sadat X were, cool enough or had a relationship enough to do a comic book together. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's just that specific relationship. I'm sure he knows a whole lot more people that, we would be surprised to know. This is a homage to Dre Dog himself for, just his album Tears of a Clown. And also to comics that he himself was into somewhat as a kid and coming up, so that's not too surprising why nowadays rappers are realizing that they could also get into comics and it's
so
still
the first Dre Dog or Andre Nickatina record that you heard that made you a fan
was something off I Hate You With a Passion. Probably I'll say something situation critical off that. It was that album anyway. That era. This is pretty much what what the ideas were in regards to the story. This is just, again, characters from the story. The story was a revenge story. And basically a father looking to avenge his daughter's, kidnappings, if you will, by the Goon Squad at the top of the page here. Me, right now, I have actually a project coming out with the homie from San Francisco, Dregs One. He's got a single coming out.
Dregs One, great artist.
Spice One, great artist.
Who lives in L.A., right, as well?
No, he lives in Oakland, actually. Big fan of Billy Jam, by the way. He told me to say, hey, what's going on?
Another hard-working, multi-talented guy, right?
He is, really doing good by the culture right now, putting out videos of old Bay Area hip-hop and little blurbs on some old-school factors of the Bay Area that I think is really important right now. Is either coming out print wise for me specifically, but also some stuff that was Dre Dog related for the show that we did in last October.
What show was that? The North Show, or was that the Andre Nickatina?
This was the Nickatina show, the Dre Day show. That not everybody got to maybe see the artwork that was upstairs.
Where was it on display? Was it on the walls?
It was upstairs on the second level.
I didn't even know, dude.
Well, see, and that's one of the things I had mentioned that it was.
Sorry about that.
No.
I never made it upstairs.
Well, so I think a lot of people downstairs didn't necessarily know that it was upstairs. So it's it's just one of those.
Too bad it wasn't on a projector screen.
I appreciate, what...
What's this one here?
So this is just Medusa here, just my old fan favorite of Clash of the Titans. I, love that movie. The original. Harry Hamlin.
Okay. Harry.
And, so this is, again, just some comic art. This is more, again, what, as a kid, I was definitely into comics. And as I became a teenager, rap definitely raised me. So
and how about cartoons and cereal?
Every Saturday morning.
Those are the other two elements of this. So this one here, Nickatina, this is nice.
So this, again, was an idea I had that I was going to have at the Dre Day show, but didn't make the cut, so I didn't finish it per se, but this was my idea for just a comic book cover that, my own idea, my own imagination of what I would see if Dre Dog ever put out a comic book.
Well,
this is before our situation with our own comic.
Right. Dre Dog / Andre Nickatina.
Yeah.
His whole career, he has always been a very vivid artist, like lyrically, right?
Lyrically.
And he literally is a comic book. I mean, going back to, Chinese Cat even, the whole thing was like these crazy...
he painted pictures.
Exactly, he painted a picture. He's a storyteller, and these crazy stories sometimes.
And I think that's just
very vivid and visual.
It goes to show, why he's been able to do it for so long. Like his longevity is something that you cannot contest.
Yeah,
right. Like
30 years.
There's been guys that I put just as high as him that have had to have jobs. In that time, right, like 9 to 5s, like myself, which is honorable and not taking anything away, but just the fact that Dre's been able to do the rap and do what he's doing without it as a living is there's nothing you can take away from him.
No.
Unused cover for an album that was going to come out of a rapper out of Redwood City. Dre's one. This is one I did for
Dre's.
Yeah, Dre's one that came out, last year, earlier in the year maybe. 28 Dubs, a single.
Okay, nice.
Great track. Start of a situation between me and that guy.
Ooh, that's a good one.
This one is one of my personal ones I'm working on. Pretty much finished, if not finished. Gonna scan it and then maybe color it.
Yeah.
But homage to X-Men #1 comic cover. Obviously recreated it with the legends from N.W.A. Put my own little spins on things, little attention to detail, fun stuff. Like this is my fusion of the two loves. New cover coming out 29th. New track anyway. That's the black and white before Dre's put the colors on.
Someone wanted to buy this. Is it for sale?
It is for sale. Although
20, a series of 20.
Although that print run I think is pretty much sold out. But I'll be having a new print run, soon.
Yeah.
So Billy Blaze 510.
Hey, I posted something to, I think it was the YouTube, an image of the skateboards. Remember the Andre Nickatina skateboards?
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yes, and
he put
someone
out
asked.
one of those.
Someone asked. He did a few of them, but if they were for sale still, and I was like, said, no. Those are kind of like. I saw them the last time was maybe 11, 12 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And I figured they would have been gone by then.
No. Yeah, and I remember those too because that was. I remember seeing those online or that they were going to be in a shop somewhere. Yeah. No, definitely not. If they're out there, yeah.
Billy Blaze, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Timi D on the camera, thank you.